CAIR is suffering a decline in membership and huge fundraising losses, and it's blaming its troubles on the U.S. government. CAIR says it's being treated as an unindicted co-conspirator in the highly publicized Holy Land Foundation terror funding trial, and the group's leaders accuse the government of an international smear campaign. Joining us now is the editor of FrontPageMagazine.com and author of Indoctrination U, David Horowitz, and civil rights attorney Leo Terrell. And in fact, David, they are being called unindicted co-conspirators. That's certainly going to hurt fundraising. If the government's going to keep calling you that, and indeed the Justice Department is breaking its own rules by going public with that, something they should not be doing. And by the way, unindicted co-conspirator just means the government thinks you're guilty, but they don't have enough evidence to prove it. So they're calling you a name, basically, and they know you're hurting your business. So where are they wrong when they say the government is purposely preventing them from fundraising?
What's really damaging is that the FBI has testified in the court proceeding, which is public, that CAIR is a front organization for two terrorist organizations, the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas. It was founded as part of a Muslim Brotherhood plan for infiltrating the United States.
But the government has to prove that. They haven't been able to do that, so they're calling them unindicted co-conspirator and purposely hurting their fundraising ability.
5 of CAIR's top executives have been convicted of or deported for or indicted for terrorist activities. CAIR is a creature of Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood, and there's no way to get away from that. And the unindicted
Well, you're just making a bunch of charges, David. You don't have any proof. They deserve a day in a court of law.
And
Leo Terrell, unindicted co-conspirator, it's very clear. It means the government can't indict you. You're unindicted. They're calling you a co-conspirator. They have no proof. They have no evidence. And it's a put-up job. They're saying 300 organizations are like this purposefully to hurt the fundraising ability of Islamic organizations.
Alan, I did my homework on this, and this announcement by the Attorney General's office, by the government, to list CAIR is a violation of their own policy. The government do not announce unindicted co-conspirators. They don't do that. They did it this time, and it was attacking against every Muslim in this country. And let me tell you right now, any lawyer will tell you an unindicted co-conspirator is used in court so they can admit the evidence of those statements. How can CAIR be this monstrous organization, as David pointed out, when they have tax-exempt status, they can still raise money? And I ask everyone listening to this, watching this program, go back to 9/11. They were front and center condemning 9/11.
Right.
So we're going to attack CAIR, but we're in bed with Saudi Arabia, the country that has 18 terrorists.
David, let's talk a little bit about the group CAIR. Your website, frontpagemag.com, has written extensively about this organization, about its leader, its executive directors, one of their founders, Mr. Awad. You've talked at length about the comments of Ibrahim Hooper and others. Why don't you explain the background and the history of this group that was founded in 1994?
Well, first let me say, Sean, I'm surprised at Leo because this is an organization pretending to be a civil rights organization.
It is.
That's actually a terrorist organization.
Then why is it allowed right now to have tax-exempt status?
Come on, let me.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
You talk about the Holy Land Foundation had tax-exempt status. It's a terrorist organization.
Oh, I see.
What the FBI has shown, what the FBI has testified in court, and you'll have to argue the FBI is perjuring itself for some reason, is that the founders of this organization were sent here by the Muslim Brotherhood and by Hamas.
Not true.
Well, that's what you say, but the FBI has shown that through something called the Palestine Committee, which was headed by a man named Abu Marzouk. Abu Marzouk is a specially designated terrorist for the last 12 years.
When do I get a chance to speak? When do I get a chance? He's given a history of this group.
That's
and
what
let me tell you right now, if this group is a terrorist organization, why is it allowed to operate right now?
That liberals
Tell me why.
are defending a Jew. This is also a Jew-hating.
It's not a Jew-hating group.
Of course it is.
Don't say that.
Hamas
you want to attack every Muslim in this country. I want someone to answer this question. If it's a terrorist group, as you and Sean, why is it allowed to operate?
All right, guys, hang on. Wait a minute.
Muslims don't belong to this organization.
Hang on, for the benefit of our audience. Let's go one at a time. David, I want you to explain the background. Mr. Awad, Mr. Hooper, and some of these other controversial figures that have been associated with this group.
The entire leadership is coming out of the Muslim Brotherhood and Hamas. Hamas has sworn the destruction of the state of Israel. They are Nazi Jew haters. And everybody in this organization, and it's a very small organization.
Why are they still in business, David?
Hang on a second.
Why?
Because people
I want to hear that.
Because liberals like you fall for their line.
Now I get the chance to speak.
Why
I get the
are you
chance to speak now.
defending them?
When is my turn? Let me tell. Now, for anyone to believe what David Horowitz said, you are being dumbed down. A organization that is a terrorist organization, as David described them, is allowed to operate as we speak right now. Now that does not make sense.
The Communist Party has
Now you believe that? Who believes that? Now anyone honestly believes that? Sean, you believe that?
If you're
you believe that, Sean?
If you're a civil rights organization that
this is ridiculous.
Threatens to sue anybody like myself.
Wait a minute.
Listen.
A terrorist organization as described by Dave. Can I get a chance? When do I get the chance to speak?
The mafia had, gave to hospitals and it had fronts.
That's an insult to every Muslim. The CAIR is not the mafia.
This is not about Muslims. This is about a terrorist organization.
It is about Muslim. It's an attack against Muslim.
Well,
and I want to know why is CAIR allowed to operate as a terrorist organization?
What you're saying, Leo, is that Muslims are terrorists. I don't believe that. I believe that Hamas and the Muslim Brotherhood are terrorist organizations.
Got to move on.
CAIR is their
thank you
cat's
for your
paw.